Hi there, everyone. Welcome to Practice Time with Ms. Rhona. My name is Rhona-Mae Arca, and I am a registered music teacher in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Welcome to my practice room. So this is a series where you get to hang out with me while I'm actually practicing some of my students' technical work requirements and pieces, as well as my own. And sharing insights along the way, some practice tips, practice ideas, suggestions, which feel free to take them and give them a try, and if you find them helpful, please drop them down in the comments. So my apologies again for the sound distortion on Monday's stream. I did not realize until afterwards that it was the webcam microphone that was picking up and not the my soundboard. So I have quadruple checked it today, so we should be all right. Okay, so for those of you who've been catching the replays and perhaps have stopped in and caught a bit of the live stream, you know that I've been working on different aspects of musician survival skills as, kind of a warm-up and just to give each session a theme. So this week I've been focusing a lot on posture and with relation to technique, so body technique. And part of that is inspired by, I think you can actually see this here. So I'm just going to take off my hoodie for a second. Trying not to get caught on all these cables. So I had posted this earlier on the Instagram channel and on the studio blog. So if you head over to musespeak.com, I'll put the link down in the video description. You can find out more about this posture medic. So it is a posture stabilizer, and it's also an exercise band for stretching and for strengthening as well. And as I mentioned, I think it was on Monday's stream, just the whole working at a desk, working at the computer for long periods, and then moving to a piano where the general posture is similar. Although my posture seems to be much better when I'm at the piano. I don't know why it's so bad at the desk, but I've been notorious ever since I was younger. So this has been something I've been using for the past week, I'd say, just to help correct my desk posture. And then I've been doing the stretches and the exercises. Part of it's brought on by, staying like this for long periods. Your body really doesn't like that. It starts to let you know. Aches and pains. So that was one of my inspirations for addressing posture and body technique, positioning, so forth. The other thing too is every now and again I do get flare-ups of tendinitis. Now that started, it wasn't even piano, it was a summer job doing a repetitive motion over and over again. And I got tendinitis here. So, and here. So a combination of, golfer's elbow, tennis elbow, and then, in the tricep area as well. So that has prompted the need to really get back to those exercises. So I thought I would start, and I had been doing this earlier today, but it's good to do another set. So I'm just going to hide my name banner there so that you can see. And let's actually bring this chair over. So when you have repetitive strain injuries, I'm getting caught on stuff, excuse me here. The body will heal if you give it time, but a lot of times as a musician, you're usually told, don't play, or don't do the activity that, caused the injury? Well, if it's music that caused it, it's tough, because as a working musician, you to be told you can't practice physically. I mean, and we'll talk about other things that you can do. But that kind of puts a stop on things, really. But and the thing is, you're always susceptible to re-injury. So what they told me at physio is to be really up on the stretching. So that is one thing my students and I do stress, or touch base on at least every lesson. There are other teachers that do stress that too. I think pretty much all of us who've been injured, whether it's music-related injury or not. Then we've had some teacher workshops where we've talked about the Alexander method and I think it's the Feldenkrais method. So other ways to like work on your posture, your body mechanics. There's also freeing the caged bird. So I'll put those links down in the description later. Okay, physio. So because I'm prone to re-injury, and the same with anyone else, you have to strengthen the muscles around so that your tendon, which got inflamed and re-injured, and those ligaments don't have to work so hard because they've been compromised, for lack of a better term. So they initially taught me this at physio with a soup can, but I've just got a 1 kilogram, 2.2 pound weight. So you just go down slowly to work the flexor, because that would be the extensor coming up and then up. So I'll just do, I should do 10. I really should do 10, so I'll do 10, especially since this is the arm that is prone to re-injury. All right. Oh, I got a little notice there. I'm just going to check that. Oh, it's a mail notification. I don't need to worry about it. So yeah, the main thing is, because I'm working the flexor, you got to go down slowly. You can even hold it and then come back up. I've lost count. Okay, and then we'll do this side too. Oh, that one's not easy to do from this angle. Regularly, you could do this with your arm resting on a table or a desk. I've done it resting on the bench usually. Actually, let's see. Oh, no, see, it's hard to see there. So chairs probably be best. I'm dropping things. Okay, so I've showed it here. I'm not going to worry so much about this, but you really should, since this is the arm in question that needs the exercise. The physio, I will just leave it at that. The other exercise they showed me at physio is the tricep kickback. So I'll do that quick. So the main thing with this is you have to keep this still and then just kick back. Now, I'll see if I can find links to physiotherapists, or I'm just watching the camera just to make sure I'm not moving. So I'll put some links down below to physiotherapists or exercise coaches, so that they can show you how to do this properly. But I'm just showing you how I practice it or do it. So I will need to make a point of doing that daily so that I don't re-injure myself yet again. And then the posture medic is supposed to wear in bursts. So like 15 minutes or so. But I have noticed that it's actually good to try it with different activities. So even though the main culprit for my posture issues is working at a computer desk, or not at the computer desk and sitting on the couch, that is when I'll wear it most. But I did try it earlier during martial arts practice, and it worked extremely well. It reminded me to activate my core muscles, and it definitely felt like my technique was better when I wasn't overthinking things, which seems to be a theme. It's a classical musician thing, I have to say. So, the other area that us as musicians tend to get repetitive strain injuries would be a certain technique. So say you have to stretch your arms too far. So ragtime for me is nasty. So while I work through technique, I'll be sharing some pointers. Now, not an expert, that I'm just sharing as someone who's had several bouts of tendinitis and what I've learned along the way. So once again, I'll drop links to actual professionals sharing their advice. And if you have tendinitis, talk to your doctor, get a referral, go to physio, learn the exercises, learn to do them properly. Okay, so I am going to move on though, because I didn't plan on spending 11 minutes on that. Okay, so I'm just going to do this as a warm-up. My one student who just finished working through Piano Kids Level 1, and she's now in Level 2. She's just working through some Christmas songs from my first piano adventures, the Christmas book C. So, with my students, I don't really care if they pick a Christmas song that's a few levels below. The thing is, more often than not, Christmas time, you're with family and friends, and they're going to get you to play lots of songs. So, quantity. But you still want decent quality, of course. So, since we only visit this once a year, most people don't really care if it's super flashy. They just want to hear the songs they like. So, this is a few levels below her actual playing level, so I anticipate she's going to have the whole book learnt, and she'll be able to do a whole concert for family at Christmas time. Okay, and this is a song that we didn't get to, we talked about it just a little bit, but I'm just going to play it through as a warm-up, and it'll be reference for her. All right. Because the main thing that she needs to be careful of is her left hand's not here. It's actually up here in middle C position. And right hand is actually in G position. So I'll just run through that. And then the rhythm of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I think that's enough to give her a bit of a guideline there. Main thing is, Christmas songs and these beginner books, they've simplified the rhythm. Most of us are used to hearing it and singing it a certain way, so go ahead and play it at the rhythm that you heard it and sung it at. That's totally fine. Okay, so next up. Oh, yes. So my student is nearing the point. We'll be setting up her flex exam soon. But she's at that point where she has to have all this technique ready at her fingertips, so that, she is asked, she's not sure what she's going to be asked for, but she's got the list. She knows what she has to do. She needs to be able to play it with very little pause and as cleanly as she can. And ideally faster than the speed that's listed, which is, in this case, for her scale, is 104 beats a minute. So for someone whose test is coming up and they know all their technique and they're just reinforcing, it's good to randomize it. So what I used to do because I didn't know about polyhedral or D&D dice back then. I actually wrote all the keys that I needed to do on slips of paper. And then all the technical requirements, so scale, major scale, minor scale, or harmonic minor, melodic minor, broken triad, solid triad. So I'd have 2 piles, basically, in bowls or jars. I think I just used like a margarine tub, really. And then, grab one, and that would be a key. That would choose the key, and then I would roll, or not roll, pull another piece of paper out and get, scale, triad. But it's much more fun using the D&D or polyhedral dice. So my student has to do requirements for 4 keys. So I've pulled out a D4. It looks like a pyramid, actually. Let me see. I'll call up the overhead. It might be easier to show that off. So this is a D4. And then she has 10 different types of requirements to do. So major scale, harmonic minor, melodic minor scale, chromatic scale, so forth and so on. So I've pulled a D10. So what I will do, and for those of you who are curious about Conservatory Canada or thinking of it, hop onto their website. I'll put the link below, but it's conservatorycanada.ca. You can take a look at their classical syllabus as well as their contemporary idioms. Whoop. There we go. Okay, let's say that's a 1, because it kind of landed there. So that would be E major. Just stay put. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Broken triad. Okay, so that way it kind of simulates the uncertainty that you have for a test. So minimum speed, because my student has to be working on getting the speed on the first go. So I said broken, correct? So, and it's hands together. So, I'm not used to playing with this, the posture medic on. Yeah, really not used to it. I'm going to go down here, though. Okay, I'm actually going to take off the headphones because they're annoying me right now, and now that I've done a sound check, I'm pretty sure that things are all right. Hi, thanks for stopping by. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them in the comment section there. I'm just running through a little bit of my student's technique for her upcoming exam. I'm randomizing things because on an exam you have no idea what you're going to be asked for other than what's on the list. You just don't know if they're going to ask for everything for one key. So to randomize it, I've been using dice. All right, so coming back to this, taking off the headphones because they're annoying me. Alrighty. So as far as posture goes, and I'm actually going to go back to, let's do the side-by-side camera so you can see that. So you want to make sure that you're utilizing your body. Like, don't just leave it to your fingers to do the work. You can get much more accomplished with less effort if you use your wrist. So you can see I'm kind of moving around. And it's healthier for the body. I mean, this is stiff. And being stiff and tight for long periods, your body lets you know after a while that that's not good. So yeah, make sure you're going around. you're centering your weight on each note so that you're getting nice, strong, even tone. And if you've had a rough day, you might just want to sit and do this for a while. All right, so that was the point there. Let's try a different key. I've rolled a 4. Okay, so F minor. 8. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so broken. Huh, the dice really like the broken today. So the broken dominant 7th chord. So they're looking for 8th notes. Not even triplet. Oh, well, yeah. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 1. And hands separate. So another way to double check tension levels, because you also want to check, make sure that you don't have excess tension here or excess tension here. You just you can break it down in smaller groups, especially if you have a tendency to not be even. So, and you can change where you stop on these, because you could do this. Or have fun with it, randomize it, and doing that in different spots will actually help make it stronger and more even in the long run. So I'm just going to quickly go through. So student, if you're listening, hands separate. But I'm going to do hands together just to save time. So now 72, but for an exam, you're aiming to go faster. So I would say try for 80. So I'm just going to do I know that was only 1 octave, but okay, I'm going to do one more. I'm hoping that I'll get maybe, actually no. I'll choose a scale because I want to talk posture about that. So E major. Okay, so scale-wise. So make sure and check Monday's stream if you need a refresher on how to sit at the piano. But make sure that you're moving with your hands. And your hands don't need to work as hard because your core is stronger. And man, this is sounding like martial arts class. Or yoga class. But I haven't done yoga class for a while. Okay, arpeggios, solid chords. We have not talked about solid chords and posture. So, for some students, the 4-note chords are going to be tricky. So, my problem, especially with ragtime, has been these big chords and moving back and forth. So, finding you have to create those moments where you can relax. Otherwise, you're going to be, like many, many musicians who have repetitive strain injuries or have had them. So with this, don't forget that you can actually move in and out. Then you don't have to stretch as far. You can even move your body in. And also take that time to relax between inversions. Okay, student, if you're listening, and anyone else in grade 5 ConCAD, you just have to do those hands separately. I'm just trying to save time. So just make sure you're putting some pressure when you're, hitting or pressing down on the note, and then relax. relax, play, relax. So just make sure you're always doing that. All right. I think that was pretty much everything I wanted to cover with relation to the theme, and be able to still say, hey, I did some technical requirements. Okay, moving on. Okay, so next up, oh yes, Melancholy Reflections. I've got 2 students doing this year. It's quite a lovely, lovely song. Okay, so why did I put this on today's list? What is my Tuesday students' challenge with this? Well, the thing with online exams is you're going to be really limited to your internet connection and equipment and the other side's internet connection and equipment. So it's going to be the same challenges you would have in an in-person exam or performance, where you have to exaggerate the dynamics and the shaping, but even more so to compensate for that. At least in an in-person exam or performance, you've got the benefit of acoustics to help improve the sound quality. I mean, you could invest in really awesome equipment, but sometimes that's just not an option, and you got to use, the best of what you have. In the meantime, a lot of it does come down to being able to play the piece as well as you can. Okay, I think I'm going to put the pedal camera up as well. So just switching. Mainly because this student really doesn't like the pedal. So at least having both views, she'll be able to get that review. And if, you're not my student and you're working on this piece, hopefully this helps you as well. So it's basically legato pedaling. I'm going to run through the 2 middle lines, actually. And I think I should probably periodically check sound. Okay, that sounds okay. And just give me 1 sec. I just want to make sure. Yeah. It just takes a couple of streams where you have sound issues to make you really paranoid about it. Okay, middle 2 lines. So bar 5 to bar 12, essentially. So just really focusing on, I'm going to do a couple of passes, so just focusing on pedaling. So I'm going to move the metronome there because it's vibrating, though. So generally, change. Like any pop song, you're changing on beats 1 and 3. Or when the chords change, which is usually beats 1 and 3. Change. Change. I'm missing that again. Now, how to deal with the shaping. So if you're getting ready for a performance or an exam and you're doing it online, you probably want to do some test run-throughs, record it, review the sound, and play around with the positioning of your microphone and the camera. Generally speaking, you want that microphone positioned where an audience person, like their ears would be if they were sitting. Okay, I am going to do shaping. Oh, starting at bar 5 again. So really exaggerating the crescendo diminuendo. You could take a bit of time. Oops. You could also play around with shaping it a little bit differently each time, especially on line 3, but hopefully that gives anyone working on this song an idea of like just how much. And you could play around, even try with the soft pedal. Oh. And maybe get off here. So hopefully you're also seeing that the more intense parts you can move in. You can really build that. Let's change cameras. So shaping it's a fun stage to be at when you're working on shaping, telling the story, creating waves. If you have the opportunity to download Audacity, it's a free audio recording software program. It is so cool. So you can record and you can double check your practicing, your dynamics. But to be able to see the waveforms, that's really cool. And basically loud sounds have a really big, you're looking at big triangles or big blobs of sound. And then softer, definitely much smaller shape. All right, moving on. Oh yes, my one student asked for this. So she's gotten to the tail end, or she's working on the tail end of this piece. So it's very jumpy, so she's asked me to just do a quick run through. I'll just put the overhead camera up. And I'm going to start at bar 35. And I'll just go slow so she can see and if you're working on this, so you can see as well. So. Oh, hang on. So I'm going from F major, C, F again. Now, if you want, extra stop points, throw in an ornament, or that's a mordant. That's a trill. You could do a turn. If you are my student, we can discuss this at a lesson. If you are not my student, discuss that with your teacher. It was typical of the time period. I just want to highlight something, especially to my student. Detach. These guys will be smooth. Now, if you go back to where I was practicing technique and talking about moving your hand, that'll help make this even. So smooth in the left, but very bouncy. And you need to be, if you want to be very characteristic of this time period, get off the keys. So you need to know the notes and the spacing. Don't be shy. All right, so hopefully that is enough for my student. Okay, moving on to Fukai Mori. So my student, who has been working very hard on the rhythm because it's kind of tricky, she's managed to get through pretty well with this. So I'm just going to run through, I guess the introduction, the verse, and the chorus with pedal, because she came to me as a transfer student, and she's still not comfortable with pedaling, so we have to work really hard on it this year so that she becomes more comfortable with pedaling. So I'm going to switch to the pedal cam, and I will keep the 2-camera view so that she can see what's going on. So, pop song, so generally changing on beats 1 and 3, or when the chords change, because sometimes they happen right before beat 3. So change, 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 change. I miss CF, but not the end of the world. I could have picked it up with the right hand. Okay, so she might just get to this new part, so I'll run through it. The chorus. This is actually the pre-chorus. Chisai, small. Ideally, with repeated notes, technique-wise, change the figures. You can get it much more even with less effort. But sometimes it's not worth the effort. Okay, bridge. So there you'll be changing on every beat. And you can try. You can hear it. It sounds kind of gross. Okay, so I would maybe put thumb there. I'm just going to leave it there. That's bar 25 of this arrangement. She can review that. That's probably as far as she's going to get if she has time. I will work on getting a demo of that up. Just trying to find the... Where do I change the camera? It's over here. Okay. All right, so next up. Oh, yes, this was a piece. Hello. Thanks for stopping in. If you have any questions, please drop them down in the comments. Just running through some of my students' pieces. This is one that my student and I didn't get to yesterday. So I promised her I would practice it where she can hear what to focus on this week. All right, so challenges with this piece. That's a good question. Because every etude means study in French, or étudier means to study. They all have a technical challenge. So this one, speed is part of it, but actually if you take a look, especially at the overhead camera view, you can probably figure out what the technical challenge is of this piece. Oh, yeah, I have to remember too that I'm in C major. So. Oh, wait. So you've probably noticed that this piece kind of goes back and forth, up and down. There's also different articulation, so it's smooth. Oh, see, F sharp was in the last piece. That's why I'm playing the F sharp. So, and then staccato. And all too often, a lot of people will use way too much power, or they'll lock. It's, since the theme of the week is posture and body technique, the point I would encourage anyone learning this piece or anything similar is to explore ways to create that sound with the least amount of effort, because this is going to go fast. It is minimum 58 to the half note. So, and da 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 da. No, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. Wait, seriously? Hang on. Hang on. Okay, 1. Here. Except I'm not lined up with the metronome. Okay. The thing with metronomes, if you're having problems sticking with the metronome, keep it in really small sections. Okay. So, like I said, the tendency for many is to just stay in that chord position and lock, and that's not healthy. That will get you into the trouble that I've been in with ragtime music, and that's posture at the desk, is getting tendonitis over here and sometimes over here. So loose wrists is the key to success with this piece. I'm just trying to remember what were the challenges that my student had with this last time I heard it. Yeah, she was using way too much power there, and way too much power here too. So, 3-note slurs are really neat. Well, this is a 6-note, but because you can just drop into it and then just roll with your hands. So just watch what's going on here. So I'm just dragging my hand across and just making sure that the fingers are making contact. Not a lot of power there to get that. Okay. I think I'm going to pop the metronome on, because my feeling with this transfer student is that she doesn't have a lot of experience working with the metronome. And as you heard earlier, I was having trouble thinking about it in the half notes, so obviously I need to practice this too. Okay, but maybe not at the 58 to the half note. Let's try maybe 52. So. Okay, so. I should be at that speed. 1. So that's another thing too. You can totally break things down into really small chunks when you're trying to get used to the metronome. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I don't think she and I have talked about that. So for those of you who caught this a little bit earlier or watching the replay, when you have repeated notes, and it's actually written in this edition of the grade 7 etudes, change the fingers. Because if you do the same finger, your arm is going to tire really quickly and then it gets uneven fast. So this, very little effort and fairly even. The other thing too is you can try to do something different with it. So, or play around with the dynamics too. Because you don't want to play the note exactly the same way for the whole bar. That gets boring really fast. Okay, so yes, student is probably needing to hear how to play with the metronome. So I'm going to play this again with the metronome. There. Hopefully that gives her enough of a guideline. I'm just going to keep things rolling here. Oh, actually, you know what? I should probably just run through the next section because she's going to be ready for that next section soon. And she might need to just get a better sense of what's up ahead. So I'll just run through that bit. So. I've got to decide on fingering. Okay. And then it's got the same pattern but a crescendo, so. Ooh. Oh, that's a skip. My brain just checked out there for a sec. Happens sometimes. Hey, we're only human, right? Okay, I'm going to do the pickup going into bar 13. Okay, so we got... Da, da, da. Okay. And then hopefully my student will notice that, hey, it comes back to the opening theme. That, she and I'll have to talk about how to make that sound a bit more interesting, because it's all that's marked is forte, but we could do, and maybe an echo, or we could do, this could be forte, and then maybe closer to fortissimo. Maybe not. That sounds like it could go really harsh really fast. The echo effect is pretty effective, I'd say. Now, for anyone who has challenges, with tendinitis, with big chords, really take this slow and take that time to just check for excess tension. The other thing too is if you have a tendency to be too tight, then practice this in very small sections and take breaks. Okay. Oh yes. Okay, so the last thing I want to cover on the stream is my 30 days of practice challenge piece. So my Rameau, Les Sauvages. And then I have to practice some church stuff, but I'll do that after the broadcast. because I don't have all the music put together. So, all right. So I took a few days off from this. I've come back. Actually, I'm going to take this off so we can actually see. We tried this at training too. So it's definitely been more than 15 minutes having the posture medic on, but definitely the seated position is good. I mean, it's not letting me do that for sure. Okay, I was listening to a recording of this earlier. And there were a lot more ornaments than I've been doing. So I think I will make that decision as to how many ornaments I'm tossing in once I've got the flow a little bit. So I guess my goal for today is probably just to run through the whole thing and just see if I can get it steady. So maybe I better put the link to Galligan Sensei's cross-training quadrants there. So I've gone from learning it, so quadrant 1 is just learning the melody and the rhythm and the harmony, and then moving on to 2, which is working on trying to get it strong. So precise, big and precise, and now strong. But for that strong corner, my students and I have decided that's more dynamics, and could even be balance. And then next quadrant is flow. So I'm somewhere in between those two quadrants, so the dynamics and the flow. So I think that's going to be the focus for today. It might not be as fast as I'd like to get it, but I just want to get it steady. Whether or not I grab the metronome, I don't know. We'll see. I just want to hear how it is without the metronome first before I resort to using it. So let's see. I'm just going to do a quick sound check again. Make sure nothing's changed. Okay, that sounds pretty decent. Okay. Alrighty, let's do it. So there is a bit of a pause. Obviously, I picked a tempo that I'm not ready for yet. Okay. I need to get that better, but I'm going to go for terrace dynamics, so let's go echo. Different key, different mood, different dynamic, I'd say. wow. So one thing I am totally noticing right now with this posture medic is it is not possible to have bad posture with this. There's okay, so let me just pull this off and give my body a little bit of a break. So there's kind of a hard plastic bar, but it does have some give there. And then the latex rubber, and then the foam, and then this nylon bit, and then these bulby bits to help, I guess, secure the latex rubber. So this definitely, that hard surface forces you to stay straight because that lines up with your spine. Okay. Probably not the best way to put that on. I did read the instructions. They're upstairs. Okay. But it is, yeah, it is not possible to slouch. And the whole looking down healthily. So not chickeny, if that makes any sense. Okay, I'm just gonna put this back on again because it is starting to get cold again. We are expecting snow. Oh, and oh dear, my battery is running low. I'm just gonna do a quick check to make sure sound-wise that I can actually hear. Okay, so I can hear this microphone. Yeah, okay. So it looks like I'm going to be limited here. I'm just going to carry on and do a quick run through starting from, I guess with that return to the opening theme. So. Okay, so, I mean, it's coming. I just stopped before the part that's extremely different, so I'll have to run through that. But I just want to try one of the flow drills. So anyone who's trying to get a piece up to speed or just trying to really feel the beat, this is a good drill to do. If you're in a jazz ensemble, or if you play in a jazz ensemble, you'll hear the term trading twos or trading fours. So that's where you play 2 bars and someone else plays 2 bars, or you improvising back and forth, natural dialogue. By yourself, you can do, in this case, I'm going to do every other bar. So I'm going to play all the odd-numbered bars. And the metronome is going to just tick by itself. I have to decide what speed I'm going though. So, that is a darn good question. I might have this actually bang out quarter notes. But maybe let's go to 54. Actually, maybe let's go 50. So this is how the every other bar drill works. So, oh wait. So 1, 2, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba. And, you know, if you're not used to this, just do it with a really small section. So we're going to pretend I did that a few times and got really comfortable with it. And I'm now going to do all the even number bars. So I'll just da-da-la, da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, ba-da-ba, ba-ba-ba-ba, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da, ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Alright. If you can, by yourself, like, say the rhythm, scat the rhythm, sing the notes in those in-between bars. This one actually sounds like it would do better if I did the trading twos drill. So play 2 bars, rest 2 bars. Just with the way that that's set up. So I'll do that real quick. So... ba-da-ba, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da, ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so now I'm gonna, don't mind, I'm not singing on pitch. Okay, so now metronome and I are gonna trade twos, but it'll take the first 2 bars. So da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Oh, I lost track of who's on first. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Okay, so metronome's taking the first 2 bars. Ba-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Ba-da-ba, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay, and when you're trying to do this, don't worry if you miss some notes or you get the wrong fingering. You're just trying to keep the beat. Okay, so we're going to pretend I switched. And now I'm going to try everything in that section with the metronome. So. I'm actually going faster than this. So that was the result. I actually got it faster. Although that I'll have to drill. Okay, so I managed to bring it up from, I was maybe 48 to the 8th quarter note to 52 just by doing that drill. So it's an extremely effective drill if you're trying to get something up to speed or just trying to get it to flow and not be so choppy. So that takes us to the end of today's session. I will play around with this a little bit more, but there's a few other things that I want to tackle with it and experiment with. And then I've got to start going through music for Sunday's church service. So I need to warm up, and that's not the most exciting thing to listen to. So thank you for stopping in. Thanks for checking out the live stream, whether it's live or the replay. There was something else I wanted to bring up. Oh, next Wednesday is Remembrance Day. So we don't have lessons that day, so I'm not going to live stream either. But what I will do is I'll put together a little video just dealing with the theme of the week. So I haven't quite decided what the theme of the week is. I think I was thinking of technique. But that could change. I'm going to kind of just think about how lessons went this week and what's the critical area that all the students seem to be struggling with. So that will probably determine what the theme is for Wednesday. So I'll pre-record that, and then that will be up on Wednesday. But yes, with it being Remembrance Day, good reminder to students, this is a good month to learn O Canada. Not only is it Canadian Music Month, and Canadian Music Week is coming up towards the end of the month, but with Remembrance Day, this is, yes, my brother and I one of us will have to practice O Canada, because with it being close to Remembrance Day on the weekend, we're probably going to do O Canada. And in the past, that's caught us by surprise every single time. So now that I'm thinking of it a few days ahead of schedule, got to make sure that we take care of that and get ready. Just trying to think if there's anything else. Nope, that's it. There's more updates coming on the channel, more technical requirements videos, more teacher demos of me running through student repertoire. So do hit the subscribe button, the notification bell to get those updates. Don't forget to hit like. And once again, if you have any suggestions for future topic ideas that you'd like me to talk about, or if you'd like me to, bring in other performers, other teachers, and we can have like a round table discussion, pop those ideas in the comments or drop me a line, and we'll make that happen. So in the meantime, happy practicing. I do hope that you got some good practice ideas or repertoire ideas even. But I'm going to hit that broadcast button and get back to drilling treble spots here. And yeah, that's it. I'm just looking at the clock going, how much longer am I going to practice for? We shall see, because there's a few other things I also have to take care of. So the nice thing about once that camera's off, I can move more. I'm kind of limited. Once I'm live, I kind of have to stay in this area. I can't take a stretch break. I go for a walk. Well, I guess I could. It's just, you'd have to stare at the piano or, turdy for a little while. So, till next time, happy practicing. Catch you next time.